friends, welcome to the channel. Today we will talk about British poetry, a subject which is considered to be a little tough by many literary students. MEG01 Ignou. Specifically when we talk about RTCs, that means you have to identify the poetry, you have to refer to the context, and then you have to explain those lines in your examination, and that is the compulsory question. तो बहुत ज़रूरी हो जाता है कि आप पोएट्रीज को इस तरीके से पढ़िए कि आप उनकी लाइंस को आइडेंटिफाई कर पाएं. इन दिस वीडियो 40 most important RTCs, most frequent RTCs will be covered so that it is going to be very helpful for your examination, specifically for the upcoming one, June 2023. Before moving further, please do not forget to share and subscribe the channel, and please put your valuable inputs in the form of comments. मेरे साथ साथ आप भी आइडेंटिफाई करने की कोशिश करते रहिए और बताइए 40 में से आपका स्कोर कितना हुआ. टेल मी दैट इन कमेंट्स. इन लाइंस को तो आप स्पेसिफिकली कवर करिए ही अपने एग्जाम्स के लिए, और जिस पोइट्री की बात की जाए उस पोइट्री को भी कवर करने की कोशिश करिए. लेट अस गो फॉर द फर्स्ट वन. But for to telling you of his array, his horse were God, but he was not gay. Of fustian he weaved a jippon, all besmastered with it habergeon, for he was lately come for his voyage, and went for to Donne his pilgrimage. These lines, where are these lines taken from? Let us see. Canterbury Tales, General Prologue, that is the right answer. RTC का मतलब क्या हुआ? RTC हुआ reference to context. तो सबसे पहले आपको बताना होता है कि लाइंस कहाँ से ली गई हैं. These lines are taken from this particular poetry. फिर पोइट्री को आप थोड़ा सा मेंशन करिए, उस पोइट्री में क्या था, and then try to explain the lines. There is a separate video for that. How are you supposed to write the RTC answers? I'll provide that link also in the end of this video or in the description of this video too. तो उस वीडियो को आप बाद में देखिएगा. अभी कॉन्सेंट्रेट करते हैं इन लाइंस पर. दीज लाइंस आर टेकन फ्रॉम जनरल प्रोलॉग, जॉफरी चॉसर, एंड दीज लाइंस आर द इंट्रोडक्शन ऑफ द कैरेक्टर नाइट जिन्होंने फर्स्ट टेल बताई थी, फर्स्ट टेल सुनाई थी सबको, अपने को पिलग्रिम्स को इन कैंटरबरी टेल्स. नाइट वाज द फर्स्ट पर्सन हु वाज सिलेक्टेड बाय द होस्ट टू टेल द फर्स्ट टेल. हिज हॉर्स वर गॉड. आप यहाँ से पहचान सकते हैं हॉर्स हमारे एक कैरेक्टर के पास था, दैट इज द नाइट, एंड दिस मे बी द इम्पोर्टेंट कीवर्ड टू आइडेंटिफाई इट. Next, this video of which I tell you my tale, sent a light day that she was last a wife, in patience led a full simple life, for little was her kettle and her rennet. These lines are taken from Canterbury Tales, from the tale of Nun's Priest, the Nun's Priest tale, and we are talking about the widow who had the rooster named Chanticleer. I hope all of you know that this is the story of Chanticleer, and here we are talking about the widow who had many animals, one of which was the protagonist of the story, Chanticleer. A poor widow, somedeal step in age, was whilom dwelling in a narrow cottage beside a grove, staunch in a dale. These lines are also taken from Canterbury Tales, the Nun's Priest tale, and again we are talking about the same poor widow who had the rooster named Chanticleer, and we are telling how she used to live in a small cottage. Exceeding sweet. This is one of the most frequent lines which are asked in exams. Exceeding sweet, yet void of sinful vice, that many sought, yet none could ever taste, sweet fruit of pleasure brought from paradise, by himself in a garden placed. These lines are taken from Emurati, the collection of love songs by Edmund Spenser, which he wrote for his wife Elizabeth Boyle. And these lines are from sonnet number 77. You are supposed to cover at least 3 sonnets of Spenser, that is 34, 67 and 77. इन तीनों sonnets में से बहुत बार आपसे questions पूछा जाता है. This one is taken from sonnet number 77, in which love is praised a lot. Struck to the heart by this sad pageantry, half to myself I said, and what is life? Whose shape is that within the car, and why? I would have added, is all here amiss? But a voice answered, life. The correct answer is the triumph of life, and the keywords to identify here is life and pageantry. But still I am saying do not go for any kind of shortcut. इस पूरी पोइट्री को ही बहुत अच्छे से करने की कोशिश करिए. अगर आप पोइट्रीज को अच्छे से कवर कर लेंगे, एटलीस्ट 50 पोइट्रीज को अच्छे से कवर कर लेंगे, तो देर आर गुड चांसेस दैट यू विल बी एबल टू अटेम्प्ट द होल पेपर इन एन ईजी मैनर. There is no shortcut for literature. Those who say 10 दिन में ब्रिटिश पोइट्री कवर करिए या 5 दिन में ब्रिटिश पोइट्री कवर करिए, प्लीज ट्राई टू स्टे अवे फ्रॉम दैट काइंड ऑफ promises. British poetry needs time. This is literature. Literature should be learned by heart. Rote learning के लिए कोई place नहीं है literature में. Give every subject of literature, be it any subject, British poetry, British drama, British novel or literary criticism, थोड़ा सा टाइम दीजिए. सभी सब्जेक्ट को खुद समझने की कोशिश करिए. आपको सारे सब्जेक्ट्स में बहुत ही आसानी लगने लगेगी slowly and steadily. And death shall have no dominion. Dead man mate, they shall be one. With the man in the wind and the west moon, when the bones are picked clean and the clean bones gone. This one is easy to identify, and the name of the poetry is actually in the lines "And Death Shall Have No Dominion" by Dylan Thomas. The phoenix riddle hath more wit by us, we two being one are it. So to one neutral thing both sexes quit. We die and rise the same and prove mysterious by this love. Maybe रोट लर्निंग के थ्रू आप थोड़ा सा आइडेंटिफाई जरूर कर पाएंगे कि पोइट्री कहाँ से ली गई है, लेकिन हर पोइट्री में काफी एल्यूजन्स होते हैं, काफी हिस्ट्री और कल्चर इनहेरेंट होता है. अगर आप अच्छे से अपने आंसर को लिखना चाहते हैं, देन डू स्टडी इन डिटेल. These lines are taken from the canonization by Donne. Phoenix Riddle की एक अपनी हिस्ट्री है, माइथोलॉजिकल स्टोरी है, जिसके बारे में आपको बहुत अच्छे से पता होना चाहिए. लवर्स अपने आप को फिनिक्स रिडल का पार्ट क्यों कह रहे हैं, दैट यू शुड नो. So for every important poetry, specifically those 40 to 50 important poetries I'm talking about, you need to have a great amount of detail, great amount of the environment, the cultural history in which it was written, and all the mythological stories associated with that particular poetry you need to know. When the stars threw down their spears and watered heaven with their tears, did he smile his hope to see? Did he who made the lamb make thee? Taken from The Tiger by William Blake. I hope you are keeping your score, and I hope many of you have got 8 out of 8 till now. These lines are taken from The Tiger by William Blake, the very famous pre-romantic poet. So let us rest, sweet love, in hope of this, and cease till then our timely joys to sing. The woods no more us answer, now our echo ring. The very famous marriage song Epithalamion, again by Edmund Spenser, written for Elizabeth Boyle, and why he is telling to his wife to rest in hope of this and cease till then our timely joys to sing. क्या वो टाइमली जॉयस हैं, किस वजह से वो अपनी वाइफ को रेस्ट करने को बोल रहे हैं, और क्यों वो कह रहे हैं कि द वुड्स नो मोर अस आंसर नॉर आर एको रिंग. All these answers you will get once you will study this poetry in detail. Against this bridal day which is not long, sweet Thames run softly till I end my song. The contrast poetry of Epithalamion, Prothalamion by Edmund Spenser. This was not written for his own marriage. That is the reason कहीं ना कहीं थोड़ा anger भी show होता है Edmund Spenser का इस poetry में. This was the poetry which he had to write under the system of patrons. ब्राइडल डे की यहाँ पर भी बात है, ब्राइडल डे की बात एपिथेलेमियन में भी है, लेकिन इस पोइट्री में वो ब्यूटी नहीं आ पाई जो उनकी पोइट्री एपिथेलेमियन में थी. Hence loathed melancholy of Cerberus and blackest midnight born, in staying cave forlorn, mongst horrid shapes and shrieks and sights unholy, find out some uncouth self. हमारे स्पीकर मेलनकली को अपने से दूर होने के लिए कह रहे हैं बिकॉज द स्पीकर वांट्स टू स्टे हैप्पी. Taken from one of the twin poetry, L'Allegro by John Milton. The other poetry, the twin part of this is Penseroso. For we were nursed upon the self same hill, fed the same flock by fountain shade and rill. Rill is a good keyword here. Rill has got other meaning, river or a water body. Self same means similar. We nursed upon the self same hill. Similar hills पर हम दोनों घूमा करते थे. कौन ये कह रहा है? Lycidas, who is drowned recently, and one of the speaker who was a very good friend of Lycidas. John Milton की लिखी हुई poetry है and is dedicated to one of his friend Edward King. SH, alone my perfect image bears, mature in dullness from his tender years. SH, alone of all my sons, is he who stands confirmed in full stupidity. The very popular mock epic poetry Meg by John Dryden and written to mock his friend Thomas Shadwell. Thomas Shadwell का नाम use करने की जगह he has used either the initials TS or SH. These are the important keywords to identify this poetry. This one. Tiger, tiger burning bright in the forests of the night, what immortal hands or eye dare frame thy fearful symmetry? Lines are taken from this titular poetry. The Tiger by William Blake. Why, what could she have done, being what she is? Was there another toy for her to burn? William Butler Yeats in this poetry is wondering about the viewpoints of the lady love of him whom he never could get as a partner. And he dedicated almost all his poetries directly or indirectly to her. Find out whom and why he is saying he was there another Troy for her to burn. You do not do any more black shoe in which I have lived like a foot for 30 years. Which poet of ours lived for approximately 30 years? Guess? Yes, throughout her life, Sylvia Plath was tormented by the negative image of her father, and she always tried to repair that image. This poetry, these lines are taken from Daddy by her. There she beholding me with milder look, sought not to fly, but fearless, still did bide, till I in hand her yet half trembling took, and with her own goodwill her firmly tied. I told you three poetries are very important from this Emirati collection, and these lines are taken from Sonnet 67 by Edmund Spenser. I wonder by my troth what thou and I did till we loved. Were we not weaned till then, but sucked on country pleasures childishly, or snorted we in seven sleepers' den? The Good Morrow written by one of the leaders of metaphysical poetry. Metaphysical poetries को भी बहुत अच्छे से समझिए और सभी features को भी cover करिए metaphysical poetry के. Upon the sodden ground his old right hand lay nerveless, listless, dead, unsceptred, and his realmless eyes were closed. Taken from Hyperion, a fragmented poetry by John Keats, the poetry which could not be completed. One of the most important poetries of this subject, I'll say. Unreal city under the brown fog of a winter dawn, a crowd flowed over London Bridge. So many I had not thought death had undone so many. 20. We have reached to the score of 20 by now, and please keep telling me how much you got out of the total marks. आई होप अभी तक आप में से कई लोगों के 100% आए होंगे. पूरे 40 RTCs करने के बाद मुझे अपना स्कोर कमेंट्स में जरूर बताइए. द लाइंस आर टेकन फ्रॉम द वेस्टलैंड बाय T.S. Eliot. 21. Such will thou be to me, who must like the other foot obliquely run. Thy firmness makes my circle just and makes me end where I begin. The lines are taken from metaphysical poet John Donne. The poetry's name, Valediction, Forbidding Morning. The poet is comparing himself and his lover to the two edges of a compass. The way a female lover stands firm in the center makes the male lover makes a great circle around hers. Where was heard the mingled measure from the fountain and the caves? It was a miracle of rare device, a sunny pleasure dome with caves of ice. This keyword, sunny pleasure dome, attacks on the mind and ears of all my students in such a way that they listen to this phrase and immediately give me the answer, Kubla Khan. Kubla Khan by S.T. Coleridge. Yes, that is the right answer. This very popular, supernatural and full of romanticism poetry, Kubla Khan. 23rd. My love is now awake out of her dreams, and her fair eyes like stars that dimmed were with darksome cloud now show their goodly beams. Move bright, then Hesperus his head doth rear. एपिथेलेमियन बाय एडमंड स्पेंसर अगेन इस पोइट्री को बहुत अच्छे से कवर करना बहुत ज़रूरी है. देयर आर 24 paragraphs, 365 lines, each paragraph telling the story of each or of the wedding day of the poet. This is number 3. What a trash to annihilate each decade. What a million filaments the peanut crunching crowd shows in to see. 24th, we have reached to 24th. I hope many of you are keeping the good score. Lady Lazarus by Sylvia Plath. Why the title of the poetry is Lady Lazarus? Why she is saying this is number 3. All these answers you will get when you will get to know the psychological impacts of the death of her father, her own marriage on the mind of Sylvia Plath. 25. We have reached to 25. Let's see, discoverers to new worlds have gone. Let maps to other worlds on worlds have shown. Let us possess our world, each hath one, and as one, my face in thine eyes, thine in mine appears. Again by Good Morrow, the very famous metaphysical poetry by Donne. When we have run our passion's heat, love hither make his best retreat. The gods that mortal beauty chase, still in a tree did end their race. The Garden, again a metaphysical poetry by Andrew Marvell, in which he shows the comparison between the corrupted world and the real world by using the metaphor of garden. No place is sacred, not the church is free, even Sunday shines no Sabbath day to me. Then from the mint walk forth the man of rhyme, happy to catch me just at dinner time. Who is this person who is saying that he is not free at any place, not even at church? This person is Alexander Pope, who is telling us about the negatives of being a celebrity. The poetry epistle to Dr. Arbuthnot. The chariot rolled a captive multitude, was driven all those who had grown old in power or misery, all who had their age subdued by action or by suffering. Again, a fragmented poetry which could not be completed by P.B. Shelley because he got drowned while writing this one. The Triumph of Life by Percy Bysshe Shelley. And leave me in my church, the church for peace, that I may watch at leisure, if he leers, old Gandalf at me from his onion stone, as still he envied me, so fair she was. A Victorian poetry written by Robert Browning which shows the materialism of that era. The bishop orders his tomb at St. Mark's Church by Robert Browning. Wake now, my love, awake, for it is time. The rosemary long since left Tithonus' bed, all ready to her silver couch to climb, and feeble skins to shew his glorious head. Marriage poetry dedicated to his wife Elizabeth Boyle. This is very much repeated in exams, so do not forget to cover this one. Written by Edmund Spenser. हर पोइट्री के पब्लिशिंग ईयर, हर एरा की कुछ ना कुछ हर एरा के कुछ ना कुछ बेसिक कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स फीचर्स राइटर के बारे में कुछ आपको ज़रूर लर्न करना चाहिए. क्वेश्चन कहीं भी आ सकता है आपको इस एग्जाम में से. Fair coet, have I found thee here, and innocence thy sister dear? Mistaken long, I sought you then in busy companies of men. Again, the metaphysical poetry, The Garden by Andrew Marvell, the garden in which he compares the vices and virtues of real life with the life of garden, inside the garden, outside the garden. Shut, shut the door, good John, fatigued, I say. Tie up the knocker, say I am sick, I am dead. The dog star rages. Nay, 'tis past a doubt. All bedlam or Parnassus is let out. What is this bedlam and Parnassus? These were actually the very famous asylums once upon a time. And who is this person who is asking someone to shut the door and the visitors are to say I am sick or I am dead? Who is this person? This person is Alexander Pope and the poetry Epistle to Dr. Arbuthnot. Next one. Under the selfsame bough and heard as they the birds, the fountains, and the oceans hold sweet talk in music through the enamored air, and then a vision on my brain was rolled. Vision on my brain, this is a good keyword if you understand the theme of Triumph of Life by P.B. Shelley. 34th, one of my favorite poetry. The rain set early into night, the sullen wind was soon away. It tore the end tops down for spite and did its worst to vex the lake. The story of an insane lover in the Victorian poetry, Porphyria's Lover by Robert Browning. Vanity, said the preacher, vanity. Draw round my bed is Anselm keeping back. Nephew, sons mine, ah God, I know not. Well, she men would have to be your mother once. This is the beginning line of the very materialistic poetry of Victorian era by Robert Browning. Vanity is the great keyword for it. This is the first line, beginning line of this poetry. The bishop orders his tomb. Was it a dream, or did I see it plain? A goodly table of pure jewelry, all spread with junkets fit to entertain the greatest prince with pompous royalty. One of the very famous sonnet of immortality by Edmund Spenser, sonnet 77. Thou by the Indian Ganges side shouldst rubies find. I by the tide of Humber would complain. I would love you 10 years before the flood, and you should, if you please, refuse till the conversion of the Jews. The name of these two rivers, Ganges and Humber. Very good keyword for To His Coy Mistress, the Metaphysical Poetry by Andrew Marvell. As yet a child, nor yet a fool to fame, I left in numbers for the numbers came. I left no calling for this idle trade, no duty broke, no father disobeyed. This poetry, where from this has been taken? Taken from Epistle to Dr. Arbuthnot by Alexander Pope. अलेक्जेंडर पोप और जॉन ड्राइडन के बारे में बहुत ही अच्छे से स्टडी करिए और उनकी एरा न्यू क्लासिसिज्म के फीचर्स को भी स्टडी करिए. दैट कैन बी एन इम्पॉर्टेंट थियरी क्वेश्चन टू. Weave a circle round him thrice and close your eyes with holy dread, for he on honeydew hath fed and drunk the milk of paradise. Where from these lines are taken? So this taken from Kubla Khan by S.T. Coleridge. S.T. Coleridge, who started the Romantic era along with William Wordsworth. And by writing lyrical ballad, both of them did start the tradition of romantic era. Romantic era के features को भी आप लोग बहुत ही अच्छे से cover करिए. Citing the examples from the poetry, they can be an important theory question. And the last one. I shall never get you put together entirely, pieced, glued, and properly jointed. Mule bray, peg grunt, and body cackles proceed from your great lips. It's worse than a barnyard. This one taken from The Colossus by Sylvia Plath. Sylvia Plath. The very famous confessional poet, confessional poetry के भी features को अच्छे से cover करिए. That can also be a very good essay question. So here we reach to the end of this video. Do not forget to tell me your score in comments, as well as please do not forget to share and subscribe the channel too. A great best of luck from my side for your upcoming examination. You may join the classes to cover all the topics in detail. Can click the link given in description to get connected to us for admission query. Once again, thanks for watching. Best of luck for your examinations.